But, had there been these horrible things, and had there been these horrible text messages, had there been this horrible information.
Blake Lively accused. It ends with us co-star Justin Baldoni.
It ends with us in court. Blake Lively is suing her co-star and director Justin Baldoni, accusing harassment on the set of these. It ends with us.
In one breath, Blake Lively is saying she was the subject of serious during the filming of It Ends With Us, and now they're making light of it.
And I think that the Justin and Blake stuff is, I think it's a big PR game, and I think that we're all the pawns of it.
Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're diving into some seriously surprising drama surrounding one of Hollywood's most beloved funny guys, Ryan Reynolds. We all know and love Ryan for his quick wit and charming persona, but lately, things have taken a less comedic turn. It seems a film project, initially buzzing with excitement, has become a legal battlefield, dragging in some big names and revealing some unexpected tensions. At first glance, you might have thought this was all about the director, Justin Baldoni, and the ever-stylish Blake Lively, focusing on creative differences on set. But as the story unfolded, revealing court documents and insider whispers, it became clear that Ryan Reynolds was right in the thick of it. Think about Ryan and Blake. They're practically Hollywood royalty, right? The power couple everyone admires, always cracking jokes and seeming so down-to-earth. But get this, behind the dazzling smiles and red carpet appearances, there's allegedly a completely different story brewing. Baldoni claims that this seemingly perfect pair used their considerable influence to try and steer the film in their direction, but not in a good way. He's suggesting they were making demands behind the scenes, which created chaos during production. We're talking script changes, dictating who gets invited where, and allegedly putting pressure on Baldoni and his team. The narrative being painted is that they might have stepped way over the line professionally. While the initial buzz was all about Blake and Justin's creative clashes over adapting the popular novel, It Ends With Us, the spotlight quickly shifted to Ryan. Why? Because it appears he jumped into the fray, allegedly to defend Blake's corner. Baldoni claims there were heated confrontations with Ryan, and documents are emerging that paint a picture of Ryan that's starkly different from his carefully crafted public image. We're hearing about harsh exchanges, situations that, if true, could really change how we see the actor known for his lighthearted humor. And hold on, there's even a whisper that Marvel, yes, Marvel, is reportedly not thrilled with Ryan right now. The rumor mill is churning with talk that in his zeal to support Blake, Ryan may have inadvertently, or maybe even deliberately, leaked top-secret plot details from the Deadpool universe. Can you believe it?
Well, I actually knew of the film before I knew of Colleen's book, which is, I know, a unique entry point, but I think because I just have 1,000 children, I, have missed all of pop culture, and her significant impact in the world of books. I mean, so many of her books are on the New York Times bestseller. I mean, it's crazy.
If these Marvel rumors are true, we're talking about serious consequences for Ryan's career, especially when it comes to his iconic role as Deadpool. That franchise is built on his unique comedic timing and sheer star power. But it's not just Marvel potentially raising an eyebrow. This isn't the first time we've heard whispers of friction around Ryan. Remember TJ Miller? He played Weasel in the first 2 Deadpool movies, that hilariously quirky sidekick. Well, Miller once gave an interview where he described some on-set interactions with Ryan as, shall we say, less than pleasant. Miller suggested that after the massive success of the first Deadpool, Ryan's demeanor changed. He implied that Ryan, maybe feeling the pressure of leading such a huge franchise, made comments that felt disrespectful to Miller. Apparently, Ryan even delivered some personal jabs while in character, blurring the lines in a way that didn't sit well with Miller. At the time, Miller stated he wasn't keen on future collaborations. However, fast forward a bit, and Miller seemed to soften his stance, indicating they'd reconnected and patched things up, at least partially. But now, with these new allegations surfacing, people are wondering if this pattern of alleged difficult interactions is going to resurface those old stories and reignite negative conversations about Ryan's professional behavior. And circling back to the current legal drama, Baldoni isn't just focusing on Ryan. He claims Blake Lively herself directed some pretty pointed accusations his way concerning the working environment and alleged detrimental behavior. In a dramatic twist, Baldoni hits back, alleging that Blake and Ryan actually conspired to damage his reputation. This is getting messy, folks.
I'm honored, and I'm also more honored that because, what we're talking about is so important and so meaningful, that we're able to have this much anticipation, and so many people want to go see it and are talking about it. Like, that's what I'm grateful for.
And you had a key part in bringing it to the big screen. How did this all come to be?
Well, in 2019, I read the book. I was sent the book by my book agent and friend at the time, and I was looking for films that could inspire, that were commercially viable, but also could really reach in and touch somebody's heart.
From Baldoni's perspective, he claims that the couple's immense Hollywood influence gave them an unfair advantage in shaping public opinion, potentially silencing anyone who dared to speak out against them. Sources within the industry are saying that these kinds of disputes can be toxic for a film. When rumors of major behind-the-scenes tension start flying, especially involving a director and A-list stars, studios get nervous. They worry about box office numbers, public image, and all sorts of things. Audiences can get divided and choose sides, and that can definitely impact how a film is received. This kind of drama can have long-lasting effects on everyone's careers involved. And let's talk about Marvel again. They are known for carefully cultivating fan goodwill and delivering consistent blockbusters. They tend to steer clear of public conflicts that could tarnish their brand. If these whispers about Ryan leaking secrets are even remotely true, it's a major red flag for both him and the studio. Secrecy is paramount in the Marvel universe. It's how they build hype and anticipation. Any breach of that trust can strain relationships between stars and studios, even if the actor is as crucial to a character as Ryan is to Deadpool. However, the potential fallout isn't just about Ryan's acting career. Think about his business empire. He's not just an actor, he's a savvy entrepreneur. He's got Aviation Gin, which he famously promotes with his signature humor. And then there's Wrexham AFC, the soccer club he co-owns with Rob McElhenney, which has become a global sensation thanks to their documentary series. These ventures thrive on Ryan's public image. If that image takes a hit, if fans and consumers start to see him differently, it could impact sales and fan support and create a wave of negativity across all his ventures. And let's not forget the personal toll. Blake and Ryan have always been seen as this unshakable couple, known for their witty online banter and lighthearted public appearances. But when legal battles and serious allegations enter the picture, it puts even the strongest relationships to the test. The stress of legal teams digging through personal communications, the intense media scrutiny, and friends and colleagues potentially taking sides, it's a pressure cooker for any marriage. Baldoni's countersuit alleges undue pressure, ridicule, and an intolerable atmosphere on set.
And being frank, if it were not for women giving me direct feedback in my own personal life and being a man who was willing to at least listen to them, there's no chance that I would be having this conversation. So the message, to answer your question, the message is very simple. As men, we need to embrace all of the parts of us that make us human. That's it. It's very simple.
Baldoni isn't just pointing fingers at Blake, he's specifically bringing Ryan into the equation, alleging his involvement in creating these difficulties. If these claims are substantiated, it raises some serious questions. Did the couple, and Ryan in particular, leverage their extensive industry network to isolate Baldoni? Some are even using the term power couple bullies, suggesting they might have tried to rewrite parts of the film to better suit their vision or push Baldoni out of the way. And then there's the really dramatic detail, the alleged confrontation at Baldoni's apartment. The image of the usually laid-back, comedic Ryan reportedly storming into someone's home, making pointed remarks, clashes so strongly with the persona he's cultivated for years. Social media, tabloids, and entertainment news are dissecting every single detail and speculating about motivations. Some argue Ryan was simply fiercely protective of Blake, reacting to what he perceived as unfair negativity. Others suggest it could be a case of someone who isn't used to being told no in Hollywood flexing their muscle. Adding another layer of complexity, the legal battle is escalating with subpoenas and counter-subpoenas flying back and forth. Blake's legal team is reportedly seeking phone records, messages, and private data from Baldoni, presumably to prove he was behind a campaign to damage her public image. Baldoni's representatives are calling these legal tactics invasive overreach, comparing it to an FBI-style investigation over what is essentially a dispute on a film set. They argue that this approach risks violating the privacy of many people loosely connected to the case, whose personal data could be swept up in the discovery process. And the debate is raging about whether either side is strategically leaking information to sway public opinion. Lively's team insists they're just uncovering evidence of Baldoni orchestrating negative stories, while Baldoni counters that they are the ones manipulating the media narrative. He argues that if Lively's side truly had solid evidence, these broad, invasive requests for personal communications wouldn't be necessary, suggesting it's more of a fishing expedition than a genuine search for truth.
But I was like just tracking him down, and then I finally got to read the script, and the script was a thriller. So that was a little confusing to me because he's like such a funny director.
Yeah.
And so I said, you know, what is this? Because the script is definitely like a twisting, turning, intense thriller. Is it a comedy or a thriller? And he said, yes. So then every day on set, I was like, is today a comedy or is it a thriller?
It's a good mix
and
of
it's
both.
like, yeah, it's like really kind of over the top and campy and trashy and fun and like, you know, kind of like my outfit, I guess.
In the midst of all this chaos, some fans are starting to reevaluate their view of Ryan Reynolds. He's been adored for his humor and relatability, but that public perception could shift if more details emerge supporting these controversial accounts. Even loyal fans who want to give him the benefit of the doubt might feel conflicted when faced with stories portraying him as losing his temper or using his star power to gain an unfair advantage. On the other hand, Ryan still benefits from years of goodwill, his charitable work, comedic talent, and positive interactions with fans and colleagues. He often shares self-deprecating moments on social media, making it easy for his fan base to see him in a sympathetic light. And let's be real, Hollywood is a complex world of shifting alliances and agendas. Stories can be sensationalized, exaggerated, or even completely fabricated by those with their own motives. However, we can't ignore the potential ripple effects of these allegations. If Marvel were to distance themselves from Ryan, it could drastically alter the future of the Deadpool franchise. Marvel has a history of managing talent controversies, sometimes even recasting actors if a situation threatens to overshadow a project. That would be a monumental shift, considering how intrinsically linked Ryan Reynolds is to Deadpool. Meanwhile, TJ Miller's past comments are being revisited. His feeling of being belittled might resonate with those who see the current allegations as part of a larger pattern. Even though Miller has since suggested he's on better terms with Ryan and might even consider returning for Deadpool 4, these resurfacing stories of behind-the-scenes tension could complicate things. In an industry where everything is scrutinized, past friction can resurface at the most inconvenient times. Another crucial piece of this puzzle is the film that started it all, It Ends With Us. This project, meant to star Blake Lively and be directed by Justin Baldoni, is now overshadowed by all this drama.
We always tease each other. He was, you know, after I gave birth, he was like, oh my gosh, you know, if I lost you and I, you know, went to the park with our 3 kids, I mean, think of the ladies I can. Like, this is a horrible thing to say. And he's like, I mean, I've got a long list. And I was like, oh, really? Because I just have one on my list. I don't have anyone on my list.
And then it wasn't funny anymore.
No, it's so much more of a burn. He's like, wait, who? And I was like, okay, think of someone, think of someone. Bob Newhart, I don't know.
Moviegoers might find it hard to separate the finished film from the messy off-screen saga. The movie itself could face marketing and promotional challenges and risk losing audience goodwill if this negativity persists. And Ryan's business partners are undoubtedly watching closely. Aviation Gin's popularity is tied to Ryan's personality and public persona. The Wrexham AFC documentary series, which has captivated audiences worldwide, relies heavily on the comedic dynamic between Ryan and Rob McElhenney. If Ryan's name becomes synonymous with controversy, sponsors, investors, and even fans might reconsider their support. Baldoni, for his part, insists he's simply trying to protect his professional reputation and ensure fairness. He argues that when powerful Hollywood figures use their influence to manipulate narratives, the entire creative process suffers. If the goal was an authentic adaptation, this alleged interference could compromise that vision. Baldoni's lawsuits aren't just about financial compensation, they're also about setting boundaries on celebrity influence in filmmaking. Blake Lively's perspective, however, paints a completely different picture. She likely believes Baldoni acted inappropriately, creating a negative and untrustworthy environment. Ryan, as her partner, may have simply stepped in to defend her honor, getting caught up in a situation that spiraled out of control. The press has been relentless, reporting every development, feeding the public's insatiable appetite for celebrity drama, and fueling endless online debates.
I think the idea that people think that they know you, I think because of how intrusive media is these days, people care so much more about your personal life than they do your work, and if you aren't open with your personal life, then they just make it up for you and share it for you.
So the big question is, how does someone like Ryan Reynolds navigate a scandal of this magnitude, especially when it strikes at the heart of his personal life and carefully constructed public image? He could try to manage the crisis with carefully crafted public statements, emphasizing empathy, transparency, and a commitment to resolving misunderstandings. Or he might choose to remain silent, let the legal process play out, and hope public opinion shifts in his favor. Either way, the stakes are incredibly high. His professional relationships, business ventures, and personal life are all potentially impacted in ways that are still unfolding. Looking ahead, we can expect more depositions, court motions, and possibly leaked texts or emails that could tip the scales. Each side will try to present themselves in the best possible light, framing their narrative as either victimization or justified defense. Fans of Ryan and Blake, as well as followers of Baldoni, will be watching for any missteps, official statements, or insider scoops that might clarify or confirm suspicions. Of course, these high-profile conflicts sometimes end in private settlements, with NDAs keeping the juicy details under wraps. If that happens, we might never know the full story. But even with legal closure, reputational damage can linger. Media coverage and public opinion can leave a lasting mark. Ultimately, this situation shows how quickly a seemingly contained disagreement can explode when you mix prominent figures, major film projects, and strong personalities. Ryan Reynolds, once known primarily for his comedic roles and playful online presence, now faces questions about his temperament and alleged leaks of studio secrets. Blake Lively is also under scrutiny, with Baldoni claiming she misused her star power in ways detrimental to the director. The legal battles, potential repercussions for Marvel, TJ Miller's resurfaced comments, and the constant speculation about Ryan and Blake's personal life all contribute to a very complex narrative. We'll all be watching to see how this unfolds and whether Ryan's reputation can weather this storm, or if he'll face lasting consequences, both personally and professionally. Thanks for watching, and let me know in the comments what you think about all this drama. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Hollywood deep dives.